Good day everyone. For today's lesson, we will discuss the topic of action games. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to learn about the following: definition of an action game, various subgenres of action games, and distinctive features of action games. What are action games? Action games require good hand-eye coordination and quick reactions. Some action games require other physical skills such as accurate aim, rhythm or timing, or the ability to execute combo moves. Most arcade games are action games because arcade games make their money by quickly defeating unskillful players. Action game subgenres. In shooters, the player takes action at a distance, using a ranged weapon. Aiming is therefore a key skill, particularly if the game provides only limited ammunition. 2D shooters takes place in an environment viewed from either a top-down or side-view perspective. 2D shooters seldom have realistic physics. 3D shooters are more realistic than 2D shooters. It can use first-person perspective, third-person perspective, or both. Types of 3D shooters are rail shooters, tactical shooters, survival horror, and arena games. Platform games, or platformers, are games in which an avatar moves through a vertically exaggerated environment, jumping on and off platforms, while avoiding obstacles and battling enemies. The vast majority of 2D side-scrolling games with a humanoid avatar are platform games. 3D platform games, while popular, have never managed to achieve quite the same level of iconic status as 2D games. The addition of a third dimension makes control more complicated and difficult. Fighting games have little in common with other action games, but they still qualify as action games because they require physical skills, reaction time and timing. The player's actions typically consist of hand-to-hand attacking and defending various moves. The game continues until one fighter's energy drops to zero. A common feature is the combo move, or combo for short, in which a player would rapidly input a particular sequence of buttons and joystick maneuvers to execute an effective or spectacular attack. Fast puzzle games require the player to solve a problem as quickly as possible. These games are usually simple, visually abstract, have a limited control set, and are easy to design and build. This subgenre is ideal for handheld devices and cell phones. The action-adventure is a hybrid genre, combining features from both action games and adventure games. To play them well requires a fair amount of physical skill, but they also offer a storyline, numerous characters, an inventory system, dialogue, and other features of adventure games. Music, dance, and rhythm games are a comparatively new subgenre of action games that test the player's sense of rhythm and timing. They typically show buttons that players should input next. The game gives a certain amount of points for pressing correctly and being on the beat of the song. Many action games don't fit perfectly into any of the previously mentioned subgenres, and they greatly vary with each other. These action games frequently use representational puzzle solving. Most of these action games demand skills such as maneuvering and path planning. Game features. Level progression in action games tends to be linear. Once the player completes all levels, they have won the whole game. Designers often group action game levels by theme. All the levels in a themed set have a similar appearance and a similar set of enemies or obstacles to overcome. Players eventually finish action games by learning what tasks lie ahead and how to accomplish them through repeated attempts. The most important level design principle for action games is a variety of pacing. Here are 9 steps to creating a pacing plan for your game. Brainstorm, think of locations, exciting moments of action, and other events you want to include in your levels. Set priorities, decide which of the brainstormed ideas are most important. Create a story framework, create a high-level outline of plot elements and actions. Rate and sequence key events, give each event an intensity rating, then make a sequence of events that builds towards rising moments of intensity. Rate and sequence plot points. Same as the previous step, but this time rating and sequencing major plot points. Set the time between high-intensity events, put space between high-intensity events to occur in reasonable intervals. Evaluate the trends, examine your plan, and look for gaps or anomalies. Begin constructing levels. Level designers can begin building levels based on the plan. Review and iterate, test and adjust accordingly. Checkpoints mark the positions on a level at which a player's avatar may appear after meeting the termination condition of a level. Finding and passing through the level exit is usually the primary goal of the level. The standard exit takes the player to the next level. Hidden special exits that jump the player ahead several levels or take the player to a secret level are known as level warps. A teleporter is a mechanism that causes the player's avatar to jump someplace else within the same level.